candy. Almost all of us watching this grew up eating various candy brands. I mean, I remember eating Butterfingers, Snickers, Sour Patch Kids, and candy has become a big part of just childhood and growing up. And there are still a lot of adults who carry this sort of sugar addiction going forward. Now, the problem is most big brands of candy are basically a mixture of artificial food dyes, an immense amount of processed sugar, crazy preservatives, artificial flavors, and it is clear that too much consumption of these is deleterious for your health. These companies will even fund cultural movements like Valentine's Day and create these holidays to sell more candy. But recently, with the health movement sweeping across the United States of America, there are many brands popping up claiming they have healthier alternatives for candy. Today, we have 12 different brands that are candy alternatives or healthier options. Some of them directly imitate popular versions of existing candy, and some of them are just a bit different. We're gonna get into each one. I'm gonna tell you if it's truly healthy, or if it's somewhere in the mid-range, or if it's bad. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you the best option. Let's get into it. Number one, we have these Bare fruit rolls made with real fruit. I remember fruit by the foot. You'd roll that thing out. It was a foot long of, unfortunately, corn syrup. So let's look at the ingredients. That's the most important thing. In here, we see apples, pears, lemon, strawberry, pumpkin, black carrot juice. That's amazing. One of these has 9 grams of sugar, but it's coming all from fruit. You see no fat. You see a little bit of fiber, which is really beneficial for your gut. Oh, it comes with like a little, toy thing in here. A lot of these options are really good for parents because like you want to send your kids to school with something that they're doing like some candy thing, but it's healthier. I got the sloth. If you eat many big brands of candy, you're going to turn into that sloth. I'll tell you that. And here we have this fruit roll up. A little rough to like unroll, but hey, there you go. You got it. Boom. Let's try it out. I think that's pretty good. I like this, but it's definitely more sour than sweet. If you're giving this to like a child that's trying to transition from being a candy addict or an adult, they might not like this because it doesn't really have that like crazy pop of flavor, but this is genuinely something I would eat. I've brought these on flights before. Pretty cool. That one is definitely healthy. There are no bad ingredients in there whatsoever. Health-wise, that gets a 10 out of 10, but taste-wise, for most people, it's probably gonna land at around a 6 out of 10. All right, we grabbed these red vines. I remember going to the movie theater, getting one of those like red vines. I remember the worst thing ever was when I was young, you would take the red vines and use it as a straw for soda. I cannot believe I did that. If you've done that, let me know below. That was a long time ago. Let's look at the ingredient roster on this. So we see the first ingredient is cane sugar. The next ingredient is wheat flour. We then see citric acid, natural berry flavor, radish extract for color. So in all honesty, guys, I'm only gonna be eating a tiny, tiny little bit of this to get the flavor because I don't like eating a lot of cane sugar, and there's a fair amount of cane sugar in here. Just 3 of these are gonna get 18 grams of cane sugar, and I don't like that there is wheat flour in here. Probably glyphosate sprayed wheat flour. What I do like is there are no artificial food dyes or artificial flavors in here. And while the cane sugar amount is a bit high, it's not so insane that if you're a kid eating this, burning a lot of energy, you're gonna be okay. You can see how it's more of like a pink color because red 40 is really what makes like those traditional red vines that bright red color. It has that like red vine smell for sure. Again, I don't eat a lot of wheat flour. I try to really limit cane sugar. I, on a normal day, don't eat any. Just bear with me. I'm just gonna eat a little tiny bite. Hey, Austin, will you try the bite of this?
I'm not a licorice fan, first off.
Okay, but you've had like red vines before.
Yeah.
Doesn't it taste like a, tastes like a red
on
vine?
point.
Taste-wise, I would say they taste pretty good. Like this matches what the red vines are as far as I remember. If you've had these and the red vines recently, like let me know below. I'd give it 7 out of 10 on the taste. Health-wise, unfortunately, this gets a pretty low rating. I'm gonna go about a 3 out of 10 on health. Still a good amount of cane sugar, but they are non-GMO actually, so that's kind of cool. Maybe the wheat is not GMO sprayed. Let's put these to the side. Next up, we have Joyide. This is Ryan Trahan's brand. He wanted to create something that mimics those classic candies out there, but are a bit healthier. So let's see if he did that. When we look at the ingredient roster, we do see glucose syrup, which is sugar, soluble corn fiber, invert sugar, which is where they take sucrose, regular sugar, and just break it down into glucose and fructose, modified cornstarch, tapioca, sugar again, citric acid, fumaric acid, lactic acid, natural flavors, stevia, and then vegetable and fruit colors. Here are the benefits. You don't have artificial sweeteners. You don't have artificial food dyes. You do have a prebiotic fiber coming from that tapioca starch in there. And compared to the normal like peach rings, you're seeing 50% less sugar. That's a lot. These still have processed sugar. And so 8 pieces of this is gonna be 9 grams of sugar. And they're 3 servings per container. So it's not an insane amount of sugar if you're actually eating, 8 pieces of this. Many people are gonna down the whole bag, which puts you above that 20 grams that even the government recommends. You don't have more than 20 grams of processed sugar. Same thing saying, I'm not trying to eat a lot of processed sugar. I don't. So I'm gonna take a little nibble of these and let you know what I think. It gives you that peach ring taste. I get what you're saying. Like it's a little chewier, but again, if it has better ingredients, I'm totally willing to be like, okay. So overall taste on this, when I compare it to what I remember an actual like peach ring being, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's pretty close. Health-wise, it is better than those red vines we just tried. We're seeing less processed sugar. You will get some benefits from some of that tapioca fiber. And I gotta give a little bonus here because this dude has done a bunch of content about how bad the normal candy is. So on the health scale, I'm gonna give these a 5 out of 10. On to the next one. This brand Lily's has tons of options. They started to pop up almost a decade ago, having stevia sweetened chocolate. Stevia is a plant that grows in tropical regions. It does not affect your body the same way processed sugar consumption does. And they have so many options. So today we got these covered caramels, milk chocolate style. You have that same tapioca fiber, and then you have erythritol. Now I don't know if like Lily's recently made this switch, but erythritol is not stevia. They're completely different. Erythritol is most commonly manufactured by fermenting glucose, usually derived from corn. And there's honestly some studies on it that are a bit concerning. Whereas there are studies on stevia showing that it can actually help your gut microbiome, that it acts as an antioxidant. It's been consumed forever in Amazonian regions, in Japan. So we actually have a lot of data about stevia. But let's move on. We see unsweetened chocolate, evaporated milk, cocoa butter, chicory root fiber, soluble corn fiber, skim milk, reduced whey, palm kernel oil, which I'm actually not the biggest fan of. It's not the same as coconut oil. Then you have some sunflower lecithin, which is just sunflower fat. You do have stevia, sea salt, and natural flavors. Now the benefits of this is you're not getting that much processed sugar. If you're somebody that's trying to limit your processed sugar intake, it's a good idea. 10 pieces of this are gonna have 120 calories, which is fairly high compared to some other stuff we've seen. This is probably because of the fat that chocolate needs. So these are like imitating Milk Duds, which have horrible ingredients. So let's see. Like, the chocolate on the outside is good, but the inside, so let me pop one of these in your mouth, boy. You ever have a Milk Dud?
I have. I don't like Milk Duds.
You're not gonna like this then. The inside,
the chocolate and the texture when you crunch it is nice.
it doesn't have that like caramel taste.
No.
Or texture.
It's not bad. I think it's better than Milk Duds.
I ain't giving my kids a Milk Dud.
No.
I ain't giving you a Milk Dud. You
Thank
got
God,
crazy after that, man. Health-wise, because of the erythritol, I'm actually going to give this about a 4 out of 10 on the health. If they just had stevia, it would bump it up significantly, or even a gram or two of cane sugar if they went with honey or a blend of organic monk fruit and stevia. Taste-wise, this might just be a personal thing. I just don't like these that much. I'm gonna give them a 3 out of 10. I don't like the texture that much. Let me know if you've had these, what you guys think. On to the next one. All right, next we have Blue Stripes Super Fruit Gummies. This is crazy, bro. Where'd you find? Mango and cacao fruit. Only ingredients. While we do see 18 grams of sugar because mango is rich in sugar, mango is also pretty unique where it's high in vitamin C. There's even some vitamin E in mango. And cacao fruit is gonna give you some magnesium. I wonder if they have, oh yeah, the magnesium content, 19 milligrams of magnesium per serving. You also see 270 milligrams of potassium per serving. That is pretty cool. No fat, a little bit of fiber. If these are good, that's like pretty crazy. I would totally eat these. A lot of other stuff in today's video, I'm like just doing a little nibble for y'all. I would never just like eat this stuff, you know? I'm not someone who's afraid of a few grams of cane sugar. I'm very active. For most people, bro, just they eat too much sugar, it stacks up. If you genuinely eat like a little bit of that, then a little bit of this, you're getting over that 20 grams per day quickly. I like the smell of these. They smell like dried mango. They look like little like rabbit or deer turds. Again, I'm not someone who cares about the presentation of stuff that much when it's healthy. Like that's just not how I am. But maybe for a kid, they could be a little bit bummed like, oh dad, why'd you give me the deer turd looking candy? You might want to give them the peach rings, you know? Let's try it out. Bro, that's pretty fire. Austin! Try these. Okay. 2 ingredients, mango and cacao fruit.
Oh my God.
The texture is fire.
That's really good.
Like, because dried mango stuff oftentimes will stick to your teeth. These don't have that.
This is killer.
This is really good. Bro, this might be a pre-workout snack for me, bro. Because mango also has a bit more glucose than other fruits. So like, guys, this is not affiliated at all. I literally we went out, bought a bunch of shit. It seems like they've basically nailed something where they're taking that flesh of the cacao. You've seen cacao plants, obviously, you were down there. And that flesh is like really delicious. When you bite into a cacao pad, you get hit with like that flesh, and then you get hit with the bitterness of the cacao, but these are really good. Honestly, bro, health for these, as far as a candy goes, this is getting a 10 out of 10. You're getting some magnesium, some potassium, and of course, you're getting some sugar, but it's from mango. This can be an excellent pre-workout snack. Taste-wise, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. The presentation might be tough if you have a kid that's a candy addict and they like want that feeling of, I don't know, fitting in or whatever, but the texture is really good. The taste is really good. Big fan of these. All right, now we got this brand Unreal Dark Chocolate Crispy Quinoa Gems. Obviously, I think to imitate like an M&M. We have dark chocolate, we have cane sugar, cocoa butter, vanilla, more cane sugar, organic quinoa crisp, acacia gum, colored with beet juice, spirulina, tapioca syrup. Overall, you're getting 15 grams of processed sugar per serving. You're getting some fat, 140 calories per serving. So I'm not a big fan of the amount of processed sugar in here, but it is to imitate like an M&M. So let's just try one out. They smell like M&Ms. They look like M&Ms. They feel like M&Ms. Come try one of these. It tastes like exactly like an M&M,
Yep.
like 100%. Honestly, taste is on point. This is a great alternative to an M&M because you're gonna get less processed sugar. You're not gonna get red 40, blue 1, or yellow 5, depending on what your favorite M&M is. The thing with this is it's still a pretty good amount of processed sugar. 4.5 servings per bag. You give these to a kid, or honestly a lot of adults I know, they're downing this whole thing. So too much sugar. But other than that, it's just like real chocolate and real sugar. So taste-wise, I am gonna give these a high rating because they imitate that M&M very closely. They have a good texture. I'm gonna give them an 8 out of 10 on taste. Health, we're going to give them a 4 out of 10. There's not a lot of additives or anything like really standing out that's bad in here besides the amount of processed sugar. So if your kid wants M&Ms, yeah, get these instead. Next, we have these YumEarth organic sour giggles. This looks like a Skittles alternative or something, right? Yeah. No artificial dyes, a couple different flavors. Let's see what is in here. First ingredient we're looking at, cane sugar. Then we have organic rice syrup, which is just sugar. Palm oil, which I'm not a big fan of. Citric acid, natural flavored, sunflower lecithin, and we do see that coloring coming from fruit and vegetable concentrates, turmeric, that's great. You have some pectin in there. We're looking at 10 grams of processed sugar in one of these snack pouches. Pretty much nothing else in here, no fiber. It's cool that they come individually wrapped. Again, I'm looking for like, okay, when I have kids and they need to go to a piñata party, you know, my kids are gonna be half Mexican, so they're gonna be going to a piñata party. And it's like, I don't wanna be that parent stuffing ribeyes in the piñata. I mean, I probably will do that. You know, there's gonna be Santa Cruz Paleo protein bars flying out of the piñata. Everyone's gonna be like, what? But I'm like, yo, that's fucking $1,000 in Santa Cruz Paleo products flying out, hitting the kids, electrolytes hitting the kids. I'm gonna do some of that, guys, but you know, let's be real. I'm not like, oh, I don't want my kids to have a somewhat normal existence growing up. So let's see if they get a pack of these. They're getting 10 grams of processed sugar, but they aren't getting artificial food dyes, artificial sweeteners. Okay, it's like a sour Skittle looking vibe, right? Like that's like a sour Skittle looking thing.
Way too sour.
It hit you with a lot of sourness at first, and then
No, it's fine.
there's just not like a lot going on there. It's kind of bland at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. The amount of sugar is a bit less than stuff we've seen, but it's still moderate. So health-wise, this is just going to get a 5 out of 10. Taste rating for these, I'm going to give it also a 5 out of 10. It's just kind of mid, you know what I mean? There's not much flavor there. It's just kind of bland and sour and bland.
It's intense for a second, then it cools down.
Just eat fruit, bro.
Yeah.
All right, next is probably one of the most popular alternative candy brands out there, Smart Sweets. So let's look at the ingredients. There's tons of options for these, but these are just like sour gummies. We see this isomalt oligosaccharide. This is a type of fiber, a prebiotic fiber, which has been shown to help feed your gut bacteria. Now, while people having gut issues might not benefit from this fiber, it might do the opposite. If you have a good gut, there are a lot of studies showing that prebiotic fibers can basically help feed your gut. Chicory root fiber, which we've discussed, numerous studies showing benefits for your gut health with chicory root fiber. Water, potato starch, lactic acid, pectin, which is a fruit fiber, malic acid, citric acid, fumaric acid, rice flour, stevia, fruit and vegetable juice for color, natural flavors, carnauba wax, and coconut oil. Pretty good. Again, with the context of this video, candy alternatives for those candy addicts out there. You want your kid to, you know, live whatever, you want them to try one of these. One bag of these, you're gonna get 3 grams of sugar, you're gonna get 6 grams of fiber, no fat, and really no potassium, magnesium.
Texture's on point.
Overall taste for these, and they make a bunch of different things, so you gotta like throw that into the equation. If you have a candy addict kid, you're trying to transition them away from that, you have so many options with this brand. Taste-wise, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Health-wise, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. It would get a 5 out of 10, but they get a bonus point for really like creating a huge brand that has probably gotten a lot of people off of those horrible candies. While there is some fiber in here, you do have to listen to what I said, where if your gut is messed up, you might not react well to it, and if your gut is good, you might react well to it. That's really what the data shows. Let me know if you tried this brand. Now we're gonna speed run a few chocolates. Chocolate is like the original candy. The problem is there are many brands now that aren't even using cocoa in their chocolate. Cocoa has a lot of benefits, magnesium, polyphenols, antioxidants, but because it's so expensive, there are literally some mainstream candy brands that use seed oil flavored chocolate. It's literally artificial flavor and seed oils. That's cooked, we don't want that. This is Austin's special, crack that open. That's a Justin's peanut butter cup, and I'm gonna crack open this Hue chocolate. Okay, let's look at the ingredients on this one. We see organic dark chocolate, we see cane sugar, we see cacao beans, cacao butter, see sunflower lecithin, organic almonds, organic cane sugar. You do see the palm oil, the let's see. One full pack of these has 14 grams of cane sugar. Other than that, you're seeing pretty good ingredients. I'm not a big fan of palm oil, but again, for this video, not the biggest issue. They're pretty calorically dense. One of these packages, 230 calories. Try it out, let me know what you think.
I've had these before. Really good. I'm a Reese's addict growing up, and this is an amazing alternative.
Taste on that, like that has to be a 9 out of 10. Health-wise, because of the amount of processed sugar and they are very calorically dense, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Still such a better option compared to a Reese's. I haven't had a Reese's in so long, but like that tastes amazing. If that doesn't taste good to you, you need a whole other video, bro. You need saving.
You need to go to the jungle.
Yeah. All right, let me know if you've tried these guys. Let's get on to the next chocolate. All right, let's try this hue. Ingredients: organic cacao, organic unrefined coconut sugar, organic cashew butter, organic cocoa butter, organic raspberry. I like how simple that is. The one thing I gotta tell you guys is when you see coconut sugar, it's not magically different than cane sugar. You're still looking at a processed sugar. There may be some environmental benefits, and I'd love to actually run this lab testing thing. Maybe I go lab test cane sugar and then coconut sugar and see if maybe there's, you know, less glyphosate or I don't know. I would love to look into that. So maybe coconut sugar has a slight edge, but it's still processed sugar. 2 servings per bar, only 7 grams of sugar in a bar. 3 grams of protein, a little bit of fiber, some fat, 180 calories in a half a bar. So pretty calorically dense, as most chocolate is. Let's try out a bite. And they have like a lot of options, this brand. I've seen them everywhere too, so it's pretty cool. I mean, dude, this is how chocolate bars like used to be. Cheers.
Great.
I mean, that's fire.
Great. The texture is really good. Yeah, they nailed it. The raspberry fillings were really good. The crunch.
Yeah. Wow. Honestly, taste for that, it's getting a 9 out of 10. Health, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. Really simple ingredients, all organic. You don't have a lot of those other additives.
I feel like that's a little low. I feel like
Tell me you're ready.
I mean, I think that's like an 8 out of 10 for health.
Chocolate all over you.
No. I mean, it's just good ingredients. You know, it's pretty much just a chocolate bar with raspberry.
I feel like how active we are, we burn through a lot of sugar in our workouts and stuff. If it has processed sugar, it depends. It's very dependent, right? You're telling me, yo, I'm an athlete. I play, you know, high school track or something. It's like, you'll be able to handle more processed sugar. But if you're, you know, some tubby kid, not, you know, you're already like insulin resistant, like you might need to really lower your processed sugar. So it's dependent, but yeah, pretty good. Honey Mamas. This is one of our favorites. We just love these. Raw honey, organic coconut, organic unrefined coconut oil, organic cocoa powder. This one has a little bit of pea protein to create that peppermint like little crisp. That's the Girl Scout one. And Himalayan pink salt. This is a thin mint chocolate. In 1/3 of one of these bars, you see 6 grams of sugar coming from raw honey. You see 120 calories in 1/3 of the bar, so it is pretty calorically dense. Let's try it out.
The smell is insane.
Bro, that's my favorite.
The texture is so good. Yeah, bro, when we have protein hot chocolates in the winter with this, insane.
For me personally, 10 out of 10 on taste. Health-wise, I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. Raw honey is not the same as processed sugar. Shout out Saladino, he does a lot of content on honey versus sugar. These are kind of expensive, that might be the downside, and they don't travel well. If you keep one of these in your car, you're cooked. Overall, big fan of these. If you've had them, let me know below. Back to sort of the gummy alternative, Soleli. You've been seeing this brand pop up everywhere.
I thought it was Soli.
Me too.
Soleli. All right, Soleli. Let me know below, y'all. All right, ingredients are amazing. Organic mango, organic guava. Come on, it doesn't get much better than that. 6 grams of sugar coming from that mango and guava in a pouch. I've had these a lot. Let's try them out. So tasty, bro.
I like that they're in little bits because it makes you eat it sour.
Yeah, taste-wise for these, I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. Presentation can be a little bit tough, again, if you're looking at that kid trying to get them off of candy. These always have a bit of texture that sticks to your mouth. I don't really mind that because like, you just chew on it for a bit. Health-wise, these get a 9 out of 10. Organic mango and organic guava. Absolutely amazing. And they have like the strips. You've seen those, like the strip sticks. Pretty good option. And last, guys, we have what you should be eating. This is Nature's Candy. We have organic strawberries right here. The problem that you really need to start to address is if this with a little bit of raw honey on top doesn't like hit that craving that you have for candy, then you have lost the plot. Then you really need to go like 30 days, no processed sugar at all. Bro, wow. That's better than anything we have. It literally beats everything we just had.
The juiciness, it just tastes so right. It's so good, bro.
If fruit with a little honey on it doesn't taste good for you and hits your sweet tooth in that perfect way, then you have cooked your taste buds and you need a reset. I would recommend going 30 days, no processed sugar at all, reset your body a little bit, because this gets a 10 out of 10 for health, it gets a 10 out of 10 for taste, and it's what nature intended. So send this to someone who is a candy addict. There are a lot of good brands out there that are just shifting the game a bit. They're making healthier options, getting you off the red 40, getting you off the blue 1, lowering the amount of processed sugar or eliminating it completely. And the reason your body craves sweet is because these deep biological reward mechanisms, where if we stumbled across some fruit back in the day, we would try to eat it all because it's not available day after day after day. But in today's society, it's available around around you all the time, which is why people overconsume carbs, sugar, they get insulin resistance, and then sugar just becomes a different thing. It just creates tons of health issues. So lock in on your health, invest in better brands. I know these are a few bucks more often, but it is worth it for your health. Comment below any healthy candies that I should have tried, or ones that you like, or if you disagree or agree with any of my ratings, let me know below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get healthy together. We love y'all. Peace.